What's up, guys?
And welcome to your favorite podcast, The Cereal Time. And today on the menu, we have Crave, Cocoa Krispies.
We also got some Pops, Cookie Crisp.
And good old-fashioned Frosted Flakes.
Let's get into it.
First off, we got Crave cereal.
Let's dive into it. First bite, you know the rules. Start us off.
Okay, so with Crave, the thing I love about Crave, a nice, thin, crisp layer of beautiful gluten. And inside you have this velvety chocolate, almost along the lines of Nutella. And when you get a refreshing bite of that, open that up for them. And when you get a refreshing drink of that milk with that chocolate, the balance of it just is exceptional. So that's why I will give Crave a 9 out of 10.
The key point in Crave is the inside, in my opinion. It's very delightful. I give it a good 8.5 out of 10.
Next up, we got Cocoa Krispies.
Let's dive
Get right
into
into it. Same as I always remember, my favorite part about this cereal is the more the cereal stays inside the milk becomes chocolate milk. You do not need a beverage with this cereal. I repeat, beverage-free cereal. In my opinion, it doesn't really... In my opinion, it's not the same as Cocoa Pebbles, but it's definitely a tier below, and it's right there, but it's not the same.
One of your worst takes ever. I think Cocoa Krispies is so much superior to Cocoa Pebbles.
That's where you're wrong.
This is a completely...
Because
This
Fruity
is
Pebbles on its
misinformation.
own,
This
no.
is misinformation at its
Fruity
finest.
Pebbles on its own are probably top cereal. Add
The
some
overrating
chocolate to
is
it.
insane.
Okay.
Give Cocoa Krispies the justice it deserves. It's a top cereal, belongs in the top 3. It's definitely in the conversation.
Okay, so
The crisp makes up for it. The crackle at the beginning, you love to hear it, you love to do it. It's a great cereal.
Alright,
Snap,
well-
crackle, pop with
alright, we'll stop.
After further review, I've come in to decide that Cocoa Krispies deserves like an 8.7 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7.1 just because it's not the best in its class, as stated before.
Next up, we have Stale Pops.
Yep. I won't lie to you guys, I'm not excited for this one. But let's go into it.
No, first, let's just show them.
Yep.
Well,
Very stale. Cheers.
Stale.
One thing I will say before we bash the cereal, I do appreciate the less sugar in this one than the previous cereals.
what I will say, although it's stale, with the milk content, honestly brings it to a point of a little bit more freshness, I will say. There's a little bit more bite, I'd say, to the cereal. Once you crunch down, you're getting a very soft, and then you go into the crunchy bit once you go inside. So the staleness is absorbed by that milk, which makes it a little bit less stale.
I couldn't agree more. But now onto the cons.
Stale.
This cereal doesn't taste good at all.
And it's stale.
There's no flavor.
And it's stale.
It tastes like a wheat field, in my opinion. There's
With a little bit of sugar sprinkled on top.
There's nothing special about it. It's like when you wake up, you want to eat something good, something with sugar to get you energized. Have a happy time in the morning. This is gonna make you depressed and go back to bed.
Yep. What would you rate it?
I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. What would you do?
I'm giving it 5.7.
Respectable. Next up, we have Cookie Crisp. I'm excited about this one.
I feel like I'm eating wet cardboard with chocolate chips. This thing tastes so bad. Low sugar content. The milk to cookie ratio really isn't there. And it's cookies, it's not even cereal. I don't count this as a cereal in my opinion. And they're terrible cookies at that. It's just a horrendous take on what should be a cult classic for breakfast.
I have one word for my partner: delusional. This is the best cereal we've had today to this date on this podcast. The best cereal. It's not top 5, not top 4, not top 3, not top 2. It's 1. I love Cookie Crisp. It's my favorite. That was diabolical.
I disagree. This is gonna be at the bottom of
We
my
might
list.
we
no
might
matter
break up
what.
this podcast after this episode because I can't sit in the same room as this guy.
That's on you. Surprised when this falls at the bottom of my list. 2.1, and that's generous.
10 out of 10. My favorite cereal by far.
Next up, we got Frosted Flakes. As stated before, just a classic, so let's dive into it. Oh yeah, there's not a human being on this world that could tell me that they don't enjoy the taste of some Frosted Flakes. I mean, as you guys can tell, I'm a big milk guy afterwards on how the milk turns out after, and this is up there with Cocoa Krispies. It almost tastes like vanilla frosted milk, and lastly, Tony the Tiger, absolute legend, goat of his industry. Mike,
What I'd say is the Frosted Flake in itself is a cornflake on crack cocaine. And let me explain that. The cornflake, it's a very good cereal, I'll say that. I'd say it's a 7.5. Added with that glaze though. Added with that milk content. For our final rankings for this episode, make sure to tune in for next week. We have a huge episode coming out.
Next week, baby.
Our final rankings are, what do we think, gentlemen? I say Frosted one.
I can back the Frosted one.
Frosted one.
we're gonna go
This is a solid argument.
Frosted one. I'll go Crave,
Crave
2.
two.
Crave 2.
Crave 2, why not?
Grape juice, Cocoa 3, Cocoa 3.
Cocoa 3.
And then it's Pops. It's gotta be Pops.
I mean, don't you think like Cookie Crisp could go like
Nah.
here?
But like, it's pretty